Hello, everybody. I'm back again with a new live stream. I am so excited and happy to be here, even though the climate today is not the most pleasant, but I'm so grateful to be alive and among all of y'all. So it's been a long journey since January 1st, 2022. Now we made it to January to December 31st, 2022. The very last day before 2023 starts. So I decided to go live to have a discussions with you guys, and I'm just curious. So you guys can let me know in the comment section below, and what are your New Year resolutions? Because those of you that tune in to watch my videos, you guys know what I promote. I'm a huge advocate of Congolese in the diaspora going back home to invest. All right. So if you're with me on that, please hit the like button and make sure to subscribe if this is your first time, or if you just happen to finding my channel for the first time, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos in the future. All right. So I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes till some people join the chat, and we could talk about all of this stuff. All right. So, all right, guys, I'm literally behind the wheels. Obviously, I'm driving to the mall because I got a couple of things that I got to take care of. I literally came straight from work. I worked today, work day shift. I got off a little early, so it gave me enough time to go home, get changed, and then, now I'm on my way to the mall. So I'll probably stay there for a couple of minutes because I got a couple of things that I need to take care of from there. Then I'll stop at the barbershop, get a haircut for the new year. And then, yeah. Okay. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into it. I'm not going to wait for anybody else to join the chat. Then we could just talk about this and, move on. All right. So, guys, as I mentioned before when I started the video, 2022 has been amazing. It's been fantastic for some of us. So in my own personal opinion, or my own personal experience, I had a very positive year. The things that I've wanted the most, not usually all of them, but oh yeah, you too, brother, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit that like button and let me know where you're watching from. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, so I was saying that I personally, I had a pretty successful year. I've had like a few things that I had put on my resolutions list, I'm sorry, for this year. I ended up accomplishing, I'd say, 98% of the things that I really wanted badly. Okay, and I'm very, very happy and excited about it. So you guys let me know what your years has been. What have you done? What are the things that you have set for this year that was accomplished? Please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. I'm really curious because I'm trying to build this community on my YouTube channel where I would like to see positivities and prosperity among the Congolese youth. I would like to see Congolese do better things. I would like to see young Congolese starting businesses and having a positive life, livelihood. So that is my main subject of concern on this channel particularly. So if you're tuning in for that same particular reason, so this is the right place for you, and I really do appreciate your support. All right, so back to the video. One of the things that I have a slight regret that I wasn't able to pull off in 2022, it was due to the fact that you guys have been watching my channel for a while, so I am in the middle of building a pig barn, right? So since the construction started, my objective was to have it completed before the end of 2022, but unfortunately I wasn't successful in doing so. However, I was able to, I'd say 98% of the work is already done. The only remaining thing is the pavement and the doors. They have to put the gates in the front and the back. right? For the security of the pigs. And inside the barns, they have to put those little gates that keeps the pigs inside the barn so they won't be like a rolling, running around and or anything like that. So that is my main regret. It's really not a regret per se, but since I wanted it done so bad before the end of the year, that's why I consider it as a regret or maybe a slight failure, but it isn't really a failure. This could be characterized as it didn't actually respond to the deadline that I had intended it to. But outside of that, my years has been positive. Like I prioritized a lot of things that I wanted for 2022. It was done, and I'm very, very happy that I was able to do the things that I targeted for did before the end of this year. For instance, you guys know that I worked as a deputy sheriff, right, for about 2.5 years, and I was transitioning from the sheriff's department to the police department, which I was able to do successfully. And that's actually one of the reasons why I wasn't able to fly to Congo before the end of this year. If you guys remember, I went live a couple of months ago where I revealed my plan as soon as I got my income tax back, that I was going to use that money to buy a ticket and go home and then just, work on the paid construction. But that didn't end up happening due to the fact that around a time of the year, that's when I heard back from the police departments, right? And that they had started my hiring process because these government jobs takes forever. Like to get hired, you have to be patient. Like I still work for the sheriff, and remind you, I had another side gig that I was doing on the side just because, you guys know your boys trying to make that money to make the projects happen. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of, why I had to hold on to the two jobs until I went for the police department job. So that was one of the things that kind of held me back because I had to wait till the process is over with before I can travel to the Congo. From the moment I heard back from the police departments that I applied for, which was early April of this year, and I didn't get hired until October 3rd. So it was quite a bit of the wait there. So I had to be more patient because the thing about it is the moment that they contacted me that they wanted to to start my background, I showed up and I responded positively. Then it's more unpredictable, the best way to put it. It's unpredictable when they're going to contact you for the next phase, when you're going to get that phone call. So it wasn't really a safe or smart thing to do on my behalf. If I would have just took off and went to the Congo, and then eventually I get a phone call and I'm not in the country, and I would have missed out on the opportunity. That's why I'm running to make sure that everything is taken care of before I fly to the Congo, right? So that was the main reason why I didn't fly to the country before the end of 2022. And I mean, in my defense, that's the excuse that I can come up with. It had nothing to do with me not being motivated to go to the Congo. For you guys know, like every time I'm get on an airplane flying to Kinshasa, like I have a big ass smile on my face because I know I'm about to go home. I feel a lot more comfortable. I can't wait to meet my family. At the same time, take care of my farm and just see how things go, right? So that excitement, it's natural for me. And I hated it that I had to sit there and wait till I, pretty much hear back from the police department. So that's kind of like why I wasn't really able to go to the Congo for that particular reason. But after everything is done, so like most jobs, once you get hired, you're not gonna get your vacation time right away. It will take you maybe a couple of months before you get at least 2 or 3 weeks vacation, right? And that's the exact same thing that happened. So now that we're talking, I'll be getting my vacation day sometimes early next year. Then once I do get that, and I'll be able to schedule my trip to Kinshasa so I can go follow up with what needs to be done. Allow me here to pull the phone because, all right. What did I touch here? Just bear with me here. I'm not sure. I must have hit the wrong button. All right, now we're back. All right, you guys. So I'm sorry because I already made it to where I was going, and I had to park somewhere. So you guys and I can have a smooth conversation about this. All right, so that right there stopped me from traveling to the country this year, and I don't regret it because it was another thing that I really really needed, and I'm so happy that I was able to do it. And that was one of the best moments of my life, especially when I took an oath, and it really meant a lot. And here's the thing, those are the contributing factors to my efforts, right? To working on more projects and successfully building the barn, and maybe eventually building the chicken house and the goats and so forth, because I'm trying to diversify my farm. I'm not trying to limit myself with just raising pigs. I want to raise chicken. I want to do poultry farming, because 15 acres, it's quite a massive a portion of land to do all of that. So knowing that that's possible, I just can't drop the ball on it. I have to make sure that I have a high paying job that could enable my ability to do things that I want to get done in the country. So now the only thing holding me back, because don't get me wrong, I still make good money. Like, I make good money as a police officer now, and it has been making it possible for me compared to when I worked, for the shares and with my other job combined. So I'm at a much better place, but I still want more. But I'm at the point where I pay my bills. I still have a couple thousand left, but you know where that's meant to go. It goes to the Congo. It gets things done. And I've been very, fortunate, and I've been very blessed to have a career path that's paying me just, enough money to make sure that my projects get done. All right, because one of the problems that most of Congolese we are having here in the diaspora is that I do get that a lot of people out there are willing to build businesses or start businesses in the Congo, but they have limited funds to do so. They do not have the financial capacity to act in that manner. But some of them, if they're eager about it, what they do, and they get two jobs just like I did, then let one job pay the bills and sacrifice the other job to get your project started. Because especially most of us who only depend on our salary to build our business or to create our vision, you will just need to do what works for you. Because the last thing I want, get a fat loan in a bank, and then I have to pay the bank back, but at the same time I'm not in a position to move back home full time to do whatever it is that I want to do. Because I want, the moment that I'm ready to move back to take care of my business or take care of my farm, and not having to owe money to the bank where I have to worry about how am I going to make those payments, right? I just want to be stress free, so I can go in there with my failure or successes, but I know I owe nobody no money whatsoever. That's a big relief right there. And people look at things in different ways, all right? So I would rather, if the Congolese government can come up with like financial institutions to loan money to like local farmers, where I can get a certain amount of money invested into my farm and pay them back as I go along, that would be fantastic. But before I do that, and if any of you out there are thinking about doing the same thing, I would advise you to pour your money into that first. Take the risks, all right? Because most businesses that you get yourself into have, risks. You know what I mean? Like, risks are involved. in terms of doing businesses. You just have to embrace, you just have to accept the idea that one day it might not work out. You know, you may start something, it might fail. You just have to accept that idea. But it's gonna teach you a lot more, because if up after a couple of mistakes or a couple of failures, and you will start to understand what it is that you need to work on. Once you fix those mistakes, you will never, excuse me, you will never gonna have the same issues ever again, because you feel more comfortable taking a loan from the bank and then starting a business. That right there, you won't have to worry about, paying them back, and just, becoming all stressed out because you can't come up with the money to pay them. Before you go ahead and take a loan, you have to be 100% sure that this is going to work out. That's why I highly recommend that you do it on your own first. Start with whatever you have, the little bit that you make, go with that. All right, start something with it, build it, build confidence. When you see your money being spent and you're depriving yourself of certain, unnecessary things that we spend money on, but you make the decision to use that little of the extra cash that you have left from your paycheck to start a business or to build something in a country, right? Then it's going to teach you, and it's going to put you in a position where you will feel the need to use your mind, to use your money, more carefully, to be more economical in the way that you spend money. That, after doing it for a while, you will gain more experience. The more experience you gain, the easier it will be for you to know exactly what needs to be done so that your business can be successful. You understand what I'm saying? And that, after building that confidence, then you can go ahead and get a loan if you feel the need to do so, and then build it up to an extent where, whether the commercial level or whatever. But I wouldn't really recommend someone, taking a loan at the early stage, not knowing exactly what they're doing, and going out there and failing, because the last thing I want to see among my young Congolese youth is failing when you're trying to do business in the Congo. So it's very, very crucial. It's very, very important that we take these steps and respect it before we go ahead and do anything like that. So now, talking about the New Year resolutions, right? So in 2023, I'm about to set up a couple of New Year resolutions that I want done on my farm for 2023. I already have a couple of things on mind, but I'm afraid to reveal them on a live chat because I have to have them organized. I kind of know, I'd say probably 85 to 90% of the things that I want done in 2023 on my farm, but I'm not going to reveal it on this video yet. But if you are curious to hearing what those New Year's resolutions are for the future of my farm, make sure to tune in the next couple of days, because I'll be releasing a video talking exactly about that. So I'll make sure I put out a video talking about the 2023 resolution as far as my farms go, right? So it's very important, because when you are conducting business, when you are spending money, or you're intending to build business and make money off of it in the Congo, you have to have a plan. Okay, you really have to be determined to do what you want to do, because there are a lot of challenges in doing business in the country. Let's just keep it real. Let's be honest about doing business in the Congo. It's not for everybody. Not everybody not every Congolese in the diaspora is interested in doing business in the country. But those that are bold and are very motivated to go and start something, not only that I have respect for you and I encourage you, God bless you, because our country desperately need diasporans to come back and start businesses, because we cannot depend on foreigners coming and starting businesses and paying our locals the least amount of money for hard labor work, when we have a lot of Congolese with money and potentials that could make things easier and bring the ideas on the table, right? And expertise to help the young, local young Congolese who are ambitious, but they lack the financial uh, capacity to take on the journey that they want to take on. That's why when the diaspora come in, that's where we're going to build that gap between us Congolese living in diaspora and the locals, because we have to work in tandem. All right. But the thing is, I always try to tell people is you want to make sure you build a very strong team that is trustworthy, people that you will not be so stressed out when you leave them a couple $1,000s to get something done for you. You can go to bed not even worrying about, oh, is this gonna ever get done? So if you have 2 or even 3 people like that, my brothers and sister, I can guarantee you that's a great that's a great step in the right direction. Because I'll tell you one thing, if it wasn't for the people that I work with, everything, every little thing that I was able to do on my farm in this year never would have happened if it wasn't for my brother and my collaborators and the people that I work with and the people that I trust, or even the masons that are building the barn. They'll go there when the materials are available, even if I do not have the money to pay him right away to start, because he trusts me and the way we collaborate, it will get started. And I will, make him a promise and be like, hey, next week, I got you. Next week, I'll be able to make the first payment and then make the payment plan until the work is done. And it has been working quite well between me and him. And he's a very, very reliable guy. He's somebody that I really respect for the work that he is doing. And yes, so guys, that's very, very important. And if you have any questions, of some sorts, just feel free to, ask me any question in the comment section down below. Because again, I am doing this to motivate more, most of you out there. I'm doing this to make sure that it's not only me, not, Congolese, especially from my generation, who are willing to take their money back to the country because I believe in it. I cannot stand the idea of throwing the money into this country and not getting anything back from it, because we already pay tons and tons of taxes here that's actually giving them money to fund their Department of Defense or their their departments of the states to conduct wars around the world that are destabilizing the countries that we are coming from. And that's kind of like, when I think about the idea, it just drives me crazy. So I know what I want, and I want to make sure that this really doesn't happen more often. So I already pay enough taxes here. I think that's about what they can get out of my paychecks. But the extra couple of $1,000 or $100 that I have left in my bank account, I don't let it just sit there and build up. I will take whatever that I have on there available and send it to the country and get something done around the farm. Because not only that I'm building the barn, but I also want to make it a peaceful place where if I'm there, I'm safe and I know I can sleep in peace. I will, conduct my farming activities and not be stressed out about anything. And that's the most important thing that I can ever think of right now. And those are my priorities. But like this year, there is a lot going on. And again, I am going to keep you guys updated on other things that I got going on. So real estate is another thing you will see me getting into in 2023. So when those, I will actually start, putting out content about that. But I just have to do one thing before we start talking about that. So I might have hinted on a piece of property that I purchased in Kinkole back in 2020 when I flew to the Congo, which I never shared on my channel for private reasons. So now I'm coming clean. I feel like I'm coming to a point where I might need to share that information with you so that some of you that are either, planning on starting a real estate business or thinking about building a house in the Congo, so they know what to expect and how much the house costs in certain area, right? So that right there is very important. All right, let me grab this comments real quick because I see the chats there. Was really going really great. And let me just make sure what's going on here. Give you an instant live. I'm watching from Innsbruck, Scotland. Oh, thank you, brother from Scotland. Shout out to all of you that are out there, that are out there in Scotland. I know it's a really beautiful country, and I will really, really love to visit Scotland myself in the near future. So that's very, very, very kind of you to be here. And thank you for hitting that like button. And how did you come across the right connections to purchase the land? All right. So that is a very simple question. I have multiple videos on my channel where I talked about it, but to save you the trouble, actually my mom, there was this guy that I went to church with, right? So the guy is into farming. He's been into farming for a long time. So, I've been in the United States for almost 11 years now, and my mom knows him, right? It came a time where my mom wanted to actually they had it was somebody, I think it was a pastor that died, so they all went to that funerals. That's where him and my mom reconnected. They talked, and like it was telling my mom what was going on and everything. Then my mom went out there, visited like the farms that are around there, and visited his farm. Then eventually my mom mentioned something along those lines to me about that. So honestly, back then I wasn't really interested in doing anything about it. But and then later on I started thinking about it even more. Then when I became ready to make the move, I contacted my mom. My mom contacted him, and then they went around and started looking for places. He was able to find my farm, and then I sent my mom money. They both went, they paid, they took care of the paperwork. That's how I got the land. And it took maybe 3 or 4 years after that to personally meet the guy, and I actually met him. The first impression was a great guy, and in the time I spent with him, like I cannot remember nothing else by just good things about the guy. Very serious guy, very reliable, very dependable, and it will really help you out a lot. And he's been helping me up until now. And I've mentioned this over and over and over on my channel, is actually the guy who have allowed me the opportunity to let my pig stay at his mini barn while I build mine. So when my barn is complete, I'm going to move my pig from his place to my farm. And I'm telling you, I'm paying him zero. Like, I mean, zero. There are even moments where like the pig feed will run out, right? And then I have to wait like another week to get paid before I can send money. He will go out there and buy the feed for me. When I'll send money, he takes his money out or reimbursement. There are sometimes like he'll buy the pig feed and don't even expect a refund from me or the reimbursements. Like it's such a great guy. He really wants me to succeed. So that's how I connected with him, and we've been good friends still up until now. And he's always there when the projects are taking place. So he sent me pictures, videos through his phone of everything going on the top of sending my cameraman to go film stuff that I share on my channel with you guys, because I can't be at both places at once. So like I'm here full time in America. When I get a chance to fly to the Congo, that's when I take my camera, I take the footage, I share that with you. But when I'm not there, I have to depend on my cameraman. I will send him out there, he take the video for me, sends me, and I'll edit it out and share it on my channel. That's basically how I operate. But my hope is within the next 4 or maybe 5 years to become more confident where I could take a trip for 3, 4, even 5 months in the Congo without being so stressed out about any financial or worrisome or anything like that. So I can just go there, do the things that I have to do, and not worried about bills or anything. So that's why I'm really taking my time to make sure I get this built up, I get this done, so when that time comes, so I'm more comfortable. All right, because my plan is not always to stay here in America, because like even like the Americans like that are born here, like they start to feel the pressure of this country. Like a lot of people are getting out of America, including like the Native Americans themselves. So how much more would I feel comfortable staying here as the foreigners when you have a lot of the Native Americans who are moving outside of the United States? So that is a lesson that a lot of diasporans needs to learn. That's why I always tell people, like, make as much as you possibly can with the little opportunity you have of staying here, and then make sure you send that money back home to do something more significant with it. All right. So you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been half an hour since I went live, and I really appreciate you for being here today. Happy New Year. I really hope you guys have a fantastic you know year moving forward, and I really hope that all of your New Year resolutions get accomplished and come true. And I also, wish you prosperity, success, and wisdom, because I know we all have a lot of things in common, and I really want you guys to get on board with this, and let's all get together and make some money and start creating connections, because that's how we will grow. All right, because I have been able to meet a lot of people through this YouTube channels that I'm in active communications with, right? And we are planning a lot of great things, which is great, and I'm looking forward for more connections to come. And I have people that I was able to help outside of farming, with like numerous other things, just because they tuned in on my channel, to show me some love, and they know, we're brothers and sisters, even from distance, knowing that we're Congolese out here in the diaspora. That's the only family we have. We have to start thinking that way. I'll give you one quick example. Look at like the expats that come to the Congo, like Lebanese, Indians, Chinese, or whatever. Do you think they're all from the same family? No, they probably just grew up in the same neighborhood, just because they share the same business ambitions, right? And then they came up with a certain amount of money, and boom, got on the airplane, went to Congo, it started something, and look at them. Now they start bringing more friends, more family members. They're building their empire over there. Why can local Congolese, especially some of us that are here already in the diaspora, why can't we do similar things? And that's another topic that we will probably have to talk about on this channel very, very soon. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This really means a lot. Until the next video, guys, I'll see you all later. And again, Happy New Year. I wish you an amazing year moving forward. Thanks again for tuning in. It's your boy Merv. I'm out. Peace.